Welcome back to another Pillar of Eternity Let's Play series. Let's continue on with some more quests. Before I get to head back, anything can be done in the area where I'm heading to.
I shall.
That is not the area I'm had to head to. Oh, it's Stormgorge. I think it was. Ah, my hedge is done. Let's work on the botanical garden. Let's see if I can get this this whatever it is activated. Maybe I need a grieving mother for this.
Yes?
Look like I need something to put into that hole. Now if I remember, well, I have to go. It's in Brackenberry. Let's go down here. Dauertime group. What is this? It's a morning star. How much magical item I have? I have a decent amount to sell if I need to make money. Another NPC there. Let's return to Lady Web. She must be in her office/bedroom.
How fares your search?
There is something I can tell you about the Latin Key operation.
Well, let's hear it.
I found Zeus in Brackenberry's sanatorium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public opinion of Animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Theos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep.
That's a reassuring thought.
This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
The Leaden Key is manipulating a group of Equestrian machines that span the country, and it seems to be causing the Hollowborn epidemic.
I had feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. It seemed too extreme even for them. How naive I've been. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Engwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame Animancy for it. As we speak, the Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against Animancy. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path for some time. I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed.
I have a feeling that she is going to tell me, go and find a way to get in.
However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. If you can gain the support of one of those groups, that may be your best way in. See what you can arrange.
Well, I am a friend to the Knights of the Crucible, and that is good. I want to discuss you the Animancy hearing at the palace.
What of them?
Wouldn't they allow guests of Diamond Roll in the hearing?
We would only do that as a last resort. Walking in with one of the 3 invited groups puts you in a position of influence. Walking in alone as a representative of Dunreed Row would earn you distrust among all the rest. It seems our organization has a reputation for nosiness and manipulation. It would be best if people did not see Dunreed Row's hand in this. Easier for them to embrace the truth.
What is there to know about the Duke?
Avar is many things to many people, and that is why he sits the throne. To the frontiersmen, he is one of their own. To the patriotic, he is a sole descendant of Admeth Hadrit. To the nobility, he is from an old and established family. All of these are half-truths or exaggerations, a tale he has spun around himself. The man behind the tale may not be the greatest mind in Deerwood, but he knows people. He knows when they are sincere and when they lie. He knows when they are strong and when they are weak. The other matters he leaves to me. Outwardly, he prefers to come off a bit of a simpleton. Don't be fooled. Before he was a duke, he was a trapper, and an excellent one at that.
Well, I have to. I have to start this little soiree. I have to get a meeting. I am going to. It's going to be a little bit rushed, but I will make it there in time. Being a champion of the Knight Commander will be nice to me and adaptation there. Being a champion and being liked in Defiance Bay should help me out a bit. I guess all that running around she paid off. I remember now, there's a blacksmith here that I can sell to. Let's get rid of all this useless equipment. That is Durin's staff. Firearms I can't sell. Oh, the prison weaponry is not that expensive to sell. 5 coin only. And either use a weapon I don't need. I made a nice bit of money there to cover my losses when it comes to rebuilding the stronghold. And I'm a bit off from leveling up Carlos in his lockpicking skills. Hello, Knight Commander. Commander Clever. I have a favor to ask you. I understand that the Crucible Knights are attending the Animancy hearing at the palace.
Indeed. Duke Avar looks to the Knights for prudent counsel as well as defense. I suspect our future as a city and a nation will depend in no small part on how we handle this matter.
I need an audience with Duke Avar. I'd like to attend the hearing. And we'd be glad to have you with us. Avar will no doubt find your presence persuasive. We need all the possible support to see that he give Animancy a fair chance. Indeed. This is nice. I have to run back to her again. This is fun. Doing the run and fetch quest. Go back and forth. Shooting to be a proxy of the Knight of the Crucible. I have a feeling it's going to pay off, seeing they are the defender of the city. This, being a proxy of the Knight of the Crucible is going to pay off more. They are the defender of the city with the aid of important defenders in the city.
How fares your search?
I want to discuss the Animancy hearing at the palace.
What of them?
The Knight of the Crucible have accepted me into their delegation.
Good. Avar Wolfgren looks to the Crucible Knights as a voice of reason and order. Speaking from their section should lend you credibility with him. You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Dyrwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Theos can be rooted out. I only wish I could be there to see it. There is a very old bottle of a very good brandy that I have been saving for a special day. If you hurry back afterward, there may be a little left for you. Off with you. You're going to do very well in there.
Thanks for the compliment. Brandy, that is interesting. I actually tried a brandy once. For beverage, it's actually quite good once you gotten used to the taste. But it is a acquired taste to on a regular basis, just like beer or wine.
This elder of yours, he may have returned a drunk or an invalid.
Maybe, but the search for Persock is just as important as what I find.
Is that right? And what if you return empty-handed, eh?
I never return empty-handed.
That was a bit of a nice conversation bit there. Better save my game now. Those two people are still at the front. Wow, they want to. They are. What they are saying heard by someone. Oh, the balcony. Duke Avar Wolfgren. The room below is animated against a heated debate. All of the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Crucible Knight, stiff in their noisy armor. sit in one section. In another are well-dressed members of House Damarau, casual watching with a predator interest. Still, elsewhere are the ramshackle dozen, who have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. Interspersed are animators in their academic robe, with expression either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you Animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, what progress can you demonstrate?
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
This person must be from the Crucible Knights, this the Damraus, and this the Dozen.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more! Animancy goes, or this country goes!
So you admit, Master Barask, that Animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was?
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
Now, where do I get to intervene?
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
His work was sabotage.
Ah, our new delegate from the Knights of the Crucible. What makes you say sabotage?
I met a false patient in a Breckenberry sanatorium who had tempered with Azo machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
Okay, this is... what I say here is going to be important. Those who know me around here know me to be fair in judgment. Cadman Azo should be innocent.
Horseshit! These Animancers can't be trusted! Look at what happened in Heritage Hill! Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves!
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justicia! You turn a blind eye, and look what happens.
Let's see, what are my options here? I've been to Heritage Hill since the quarantine. Though the knights were unable to control the damage, it was not Animancy, but a ancient machine that caused it. Second option, Crucible Knights are blameless here. This was not the working of a Animancy, but a ancient device in Teo Noeth. Yeah, the second option would be best. The knights are blameless, Animancers didn't do it. It was a machine.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
My word is my oath. I challenge anyone here to find someone who knows different. Okay, what's the other option? My word is my oath. I challenge anyone here to find someone who's no different.
I had heard whispers of a new delegate set to attend today's hearing. I admit that your candor was mentioned more than once.
Oh, good. My reputation is known here.
Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Tell Noah's house and an aggressive machine that hold domination over the flow of souls. It was the machine that made the district undead.
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
What is the best answer here? First answer. Their presence didn't cause anything. It's the first option. Makes them not a party involved. But the third option is making them guilty, in a way. Third option. Second option would be best. I have reason to believe there were other at the tower who might have done this.
Animancy has many enemies. You need only look around this room to see it.
You're missing the point! Everywhere there's animancers, there's disaster!
Yes, and everywhere there are humans. Humans did mistakes as well. Are you saying humans are the fault of every single mistake now? People logic at times, it's funny.
We all know what Widewind's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge!
Huh, wrong bridge indeed.
It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it!
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's where we lay them. My son. My wife let him slip when she was bathing him. Got water in his lungs he couldn't cough up. My daughter? We put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing. This Hollowborn thing, it ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker!
That is not very good evidence. You're just saying that your children unfortunately passed away due to whether it be natural or supernatural events.
Enough, Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate? Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy has taken hold here?
The grieving mother reaches towards your mind with her. Bring order to the chaos here. I can. The crowd began to mutter, the sound taking a doubtful carry. Right idea, Watcher. Take this in by the curling one. Don't waste your chance. Within Legacy is the creation of the 11 key. Carmen Azog's downfall was their work. As the tower in the Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want Amateur to fall. Oh, this is where I be the hero here. The dull mutterings span into the dense skepticism that filled the hall. I seen them in the ruin of Ursa Glamfrost operating machine that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls. Near the town of Gildvale and Deerford, where the legacy is a universal. As a watcher, I heard their dead confess their plot. They are stealing souls of the unborn.
Beasts.
Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
What is it here can get me in trouble? I should be benevolent here. Please, only want to help Ryford. That's a good option. Please, I only want to help Drywood.
You must know, friend, that the Leaden Key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
Okay, this is going to be fun. When more likely that the gods are destroying Drywood for science practice in many parts of the world, or that group hates Animancy and wanted to suppress. This is going to be interesting and hard at the same time. Fourth option is a nice one here. Everyone can cooperate. We all want the same thing here. We want Waylon Legacy to end. If we work together instead of arguing, we can't stop the people who are doing this. You speak truth, Watcher. Unfortunately, I fear it falls on deaf ears in this place.
No self-respecting member of the Dozens is gonna let these Animancers keep casting their black magics in the same districts where there's children being born!
Oh, be quiet already. No one is listening to you, friend. You need to get over that. Animancers have nothing to do with this. Leaden Key is your enemy.
I think I can tell my friends from my enemies on my own. You better watch which side you follow.
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn all this?
I took a personal interest in the matter and tried to learn what I could.
Indeed. This land is foreign to you, unless I miss my guess. Your efforts on its behalf are to be commended. But these hearings are about more than Widewind's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious. What would you do if you were in my position?
Now, the important answer. Let's read over the answers here. The first answer is giving them more freedom. If you know more, perhaps the crisis could have been averted. That's a viable option there. Antimancy should be studied in Rightwood. If you don't, someone else will, and they will wield greater power over you. I would allow Animancers to continue their work. They explore questions we all wish to understand. If we know more, perhaps this crisis could have had been averted. And Adolf shakes his head. Animancers serve their own ambition and their own purposes. Giving them this power is like setting a child loose in a armory. I do not trust these animancers seeking first after gain and glory, but if they can heal our children, I will not hinder them.
Very well. That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest. I want to thank the delegations for helping me collect my thoughts. And our new delegate, who has warned us of a new possibility that must be looked into.
Defiance Bay, positive reputation. Hooray! I gotten my point across and made animancy legal. Or at least reinforces it to be illegal.
The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement. Ramir D. Barash, representing the interests of animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
Oh no.
It occurs to me now, my concerns about animancy may not outweigh its value.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing?
No, wait!
Oh, great. Great.
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you? Another time. I am already late.
The words, "Shall I end it for you?" ring in your ears. You find yourself gasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as they all hurried out of the building. The world dim around you. The scream and clashing of weapons fading to silence. All that remained are the words.
Shall I end it for you?
They stand at the pulpit high above a assembly of robed onlookers. You among them, clustered around a wide circular pit carved of stone. He addresses a woman bound backwards over a large iron wheel overlooking the great stone wall. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottom of her feet are charred black. The skin in one side of her face look like melted candle wax, black and red and deep pink, and the angle of her black suggests a spine wound. Yet for all that, her expression betrays little of her anguish.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
He nods to a hooded attendant who began untying her from the wheel. You open your eyes to the beam ceiling of the palace around the palace grand. You open your eyes to the beam ceiling of the palace grand entry hall. the clangs of metal striking metal, wafted in from outside alongside the cries of the injured as you stagger to your feet. Theos is gone. Adults hover over you, worry etched on his face. John, we got to get out of here. Fast. His eyes start to the hall. Off to one side you hear clinking rustle of chainmail, and you look over to see a wounded guard slumped against the wall. He is trying to say something, seemingly directed at you, but at first it's too faint to hear. He gathered his breath and managed to grasp out a few words. Lady Webb, she the only one. She must be told. She knows what she needs. Please find her. Tell her everything. The guard passed out and slid to the floor still. Let's go to Lady Webb. Oh great, oh great, there is trouble. Oh, this is great. People are dying. This is not my fight to fight the commoners. These to maintain order and put down this thing. Oh, great. There is blood in these streets.
Hello.
I recognize you. You were the one who spoke up at the hearing. What were you just doing? Aren't you with the dozen? I was the thing I heard at the hearing today, though. He shook his head. I had it all backward. If it was all good enough for the Duke, it was good enough for me. I don't care if a Animancer killed him. It doesn't mean we got to hold all of them responsible. This isn't what we're supposed to be about. What were you just doing? I got a few Animancers out of the burn through the back. A lot of them didn't make it out though. I have to go. Get out of here. Wait this thing out. I hope that Lady Webb is not dead. Bodies, not good. Let's see how much coin I can get off of them. Not much though, but money is money. taking money off of corpses. It is not stealing.
Yes? Yes? I'm here.
Don't tell me Lady Web is... She's...
I'll see what I can do.
Lady Web lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright. The blood pooled beneath a gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. A shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your kin. Reach outward. You make contact and are immersed in a torment of sensory input and experience. When it comes, you find yourself in the same room, lying in a bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Though the walls from the street outside come the sound of a scream and shattered glass, and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip and it warms your gullet. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient. Steady push into the room. Walk fails. The floorboard creaking beneath the deliberate step. You wait until the last of the brandy trickle down your throat before you speak.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
You are concentrating, focusing with all your energy. It feels as though you are diving into a stone wall over and over, but a crack suddenly, unexpectedly allows the vague wisp of a taunt to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
He walks over to a small table and waits He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seemed to approve of the selection and began to reach for a empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
That must have been me.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
He replaced the brandy bottle on the table with care before approaching the bedside. He sat on the edge of the bed next to you. His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He draws a long curved knife from his belt, smeared with flesh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other. It points dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
They'll slip the knife between your rib and push it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass to the floor, and you heal each other. With the last of your strength, you take his knife in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. Act all done. Interesting. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes simply catalytic in its reordering of your thought. As a Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for all of your life, but in your own mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Theos with wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time and draw your last breath as the black velvety darkness descends over you.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenbury Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the Leaden Key itself.
Great. Interfering with things that they don't understand.
I'm here. Of course.
Oh, I have to travel to the Twin Elms. As you cross the bridge, Arlos strolls up beside you. The fires of Defiant Bay cast a shivering flicker light across one half of his face. The other end is in darkness.
Please stop. I need to tell you something.
Go ahead.
I have not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point. When I finished my training in Adir, I was introduced to an organization. All I knew was that they were opposed to the unchecked spread of Animancy, and that they could guarantee me postings far away from the Seathwood my father and his Earl. At that time, it was enough. In the early years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the Leaden Key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was clear. I sincerely believe they wanted to keep Kith from the folly of their own foolish ambitions. I came to the Deerwood a little over a year ago. My orders were to gather information on Animancy in the region.
I have to remain calm. This could get ugly.
A senior contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the local lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or sacrificed the way you saw. At the time you met me, I'd been on my own for a couple of months.
What did you want from me?
I needed some kind of direction. After that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then you mentioned that you'd survived that Beowick, and I thought you might be able to put me back on the Leaden Keys trail. And I was correct in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected. I knew the Leaden Key was trying to stop Animancy, but I didn't realize how far they'd gone. Murder, sabotage, abandoning entire districts to shambling horrors. Now the whole city is up in flames. I'm still not sure about Animancy, but I know I've been following the wrong master. Please, accept my apology, and my service. Let me fight with you to stop Theos.
Now this is the part where Alos begs for forgiveness. I should accept his apology, but keep an eye on him. As long as you don't forget who in charge, I keep a close eye on you from now on.
Of course. I shall follow your lead.
Before we move on, I'd like to discuss a few things. How exactly did you come to join the Leaden Key? If, as it often is with such follies, I was young and directionless. The Leaden Key promised some of the structure I was lacking, and they offered me a future far removed from service to my father Earl. Animancy is possibly even more controversial and outer than it is here. The practice has been outlawed for 600 years, but prohibition has a way of breeding curiosity. The success and relative acceptance of Animancy are found here and in Valen Republic spurred renewed interest in Eder. The Leaden Key began recruiting more aggressively, and I was in the final period of my training when one of my instructors reached out to me. He shrugged as I said it was a welcome departure from my father plans. After seeing a few of my colleagues abandon their studies in magic to pursue Animancy in the Republic, I was convinced something needed to be done to stop the spread. About your parents. But this episode been a long one. I should end it now. A lot have happened in the city. I went to the government building, made my case, and follow a trail where Theos is going. Let's continue this episode next time, where I will continue following Theos' path.